And it says, verse 20, and the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of the spoilers, right? Which were the Assyrians at that time. And after the Syrians, the Babylonians, he said, until he had cast them out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord Yahweh and made them sin a great sin, man. It says, for the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them, until Yahweh removed Israel out of the sight, as had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this very day. So they was carried to Assyria, man. You know? They was carried to Assyria.
Trying to go home then.
You know? Was carried to Assyria. Verse 24, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cutha and from Ava and from Hamath and from Sarvim and placed them in the city of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. So he brought foreigners into our land and they tried to take our identity. Right? That's what was going on there. This is why the Lord said, do not go to the city of the Samaritans, enter ye not, because he knew that our people were not in that land. Those were impostors in our land. It says, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. Right? And it says, and so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Right? Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the city of Samaria know not the manner of the power of the land. So they didn't know, because they weren't Israelites, man. And that covenant wasn't given to them. So they didn't know, man. You know? And it says, therefore he sent lions among them and beheld slay them, but they knew not the manner of the God of the land. It says, then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom he brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of God of the land. So they grabbed one of our priests and Levites, that he would teach them that manner of the God of the land, man. That's why when you read this particular scripture in John, the 4th chapter, John the 4th chapter, when the Lord had met the woman at the well, she said, the woman answered and said, okay, I'll start at 13. And Yahushua answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Right? Because they were at a well. But he said, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. And that's the word, man. The woman said unto him, sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. And Yahushua said unto her, go call thy husband and come hither. Right? Because that's our custom, is to deal with the man, right? And we deal with the men. He said, go get your husband and come, basically, and I'll teach him. Because in scripture tell you that a woman should learn from her husband at home, right? And it says, the woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast 5 husbands, and whom thou hast is not thy husband that thou sayest thy truly. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Because she was saying our fathers worship in this mountain because they placed them heathens in there, and they had the priests to teach them the manner of the power of that land. That's why she said that our fathers have worshiped in this mountain. And it says, Yahushua said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain, not yet at Jerusalem, worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is only for the Jews. So he was telling her, salvation is not for her because she was a heathen, man. You know, by them being raised in that land, that priest showing them the manner of the God of the land, they felt like they were the chosen people also. He was telling her basically, hey, salvation ain't for you. You a heathen, man. Salvation is only for the nation of Israel, man. Back to Matthew. Matthew's 10 and 5, it says, These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Now we know why he said that, right? Because those were impostors in that land. And it says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. When you look up that word lost, it goes into being destroyed, man. The destroyed of the house of Israel, man. Go to the destroyed, man. Because they didn't know their customs. They had been led out of their land. They had been sent different ways, man. And they lost their knowledge of who they were. And some remembered, but a lot of them wanted to be as the heathens. You know? Let's see here. This is Luke 1 and 68. Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel. Right? There it goes again. Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. His people being the Israelites, man. And have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of David. That power of salvation, man. Deliverance from our enemies, man. And he spake by the mouth of the holy prophets, which have been since the world began. And he's still speaking by the mouth of his holy prophets, man. He's still speaking by the mouth of his holy prophets, even to this day, man. We come out here on the highways and byways and prophesy. That's what it says, speak thou in the ears of my people. He told you in Ezra, man. In Jeremiah 3 and 15, he says, I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And we are here in that day feeding you with the knowledge and the understanding of the scripture. That seed, man, that word. We're feeding you, you know. So you so-called Christians, man, believing the Lord came for everybody. It's just another doctrine that we're crushing. That's a stronghold, man. That's on you, man. It's 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to pulling down of strongholds, man. So we're pulling down these imaginations that you people have of the Lord being what? A Lord of all love, loving every nation on the planet. That's a stronghold, man. That's an imagination that keeps you basically from receiving the knowledge and the full understanding of what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about. You know? casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High. And when y'all believe in those imaginations,